Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with the fourth layout using the February kit. And this layout was fairly quick too. It took me 47 minutes to complete. And I'm going to base it on that Webster's page pattern paper. I absolutely love it. Now, I was trying to think when I did a page like this and it was using those Neo colors. And it's going to be 2 years ago in July or June, maybe it was May or June. I had gone on a weekend away and I had used those Neo colors and I had sort of done just circles like that, and it was of Mason, and the title of it was called You Color My World. And when I saw that pattern paper, it totally reminded me of that layout that I had done, and I'm like, okay, I got to do something like that again using maybe a few different watercolors. And then I remembered I had a distress stain from Tim Holtz in the vintage photo, I believe. And I thought, ooh, I'm going to try that. So at first I tried my watercolors and I go around once and, I'm trying to spread it a little bit more and boom, I make a big boo-boo and I'm not liking it. So I add water and I take a baby wipe and I try to kind of smooth it out, and it worked a bit. So at first I thought I was going to color each of the rings, I guess, in a different color. And I thought, that's not going to work. It's just going to look really thin and really not good. So you see me trying out on a tag and I kind of like it. And then I just go to town. I just start using it, start making sort of circles all the way around. And I'm really liking that. And then I just thought that I would play off the circle. So I have my heat gun at the same time and I'm trying to dry it up. And then what I like to do too is as I'm doing the edges of the pattern paper, I like to kind of take two sides and kind of bring it in and add a little bit more color. So I'm going to mount the photo on some craft cardstock. And this is a picture of my two youngest, and it was at the Boston campground. And there's a doggy park, and there's a little house, and there's a window. And 4 years ago when we went, we had our other dog, Jake, and they took a picture of him in that same doggy park house. And so they want to do the same thing with Ace. And so anyway, I really like the tones of the picture because I managed to just take a picture of the frame of the window and it turned out so cute. And so with the wood grain in the back and then with the stains, it really made the photo really pop. Now I went to the 6x6 pattern paper and I tried to find a few pattern papers that really stick out. And the only one that I really liked was sort of that ledger paper, and I added some distress stain all over that. And then I thought, you know what? I want to keep it to that and the rub-ons. So I am going to use the entire sheet of rub-ons on this. And I'm, going to use the hashtag journey for my title. I'm going to use the hearts as a place to start piling up my embellishments. And that was another one. As soon as I kind of decided, it's like, okay, start sticking things down. Like, you want the picture that way. You want to mount it on that 6x6 pattern paper. Just get her down. And then, you want that word adventure. Put it down. And I find these rub-ons work so well. So I put the adventure and then a heart. And then I go on to the next and say, okay, what else could I put? I know I want to put that globe because we were traveling. I want to use some of these puffy stickers again. So I'm going to use the field notes. I'm going to add it to the side of that 6x6 pattern paper. I'm going to bring in a flare from one of the kits. And also I'm going to bring in some chipboard stickers. And now I'm starting to cut apart, the arrows and kind of figuring out, okay, where could that arrow go? Okay, right above the adventure. Perfect. Rub it down, because another problem with rub-ons is if you cut them out and you don't use them, if the backing goes off of them and it just touches somewhere. You know, sometimes we have so much trouble getting them to rub down, but when you don't want them to rub down, that's when they will rub down. So what I do is I try to keep the backing on them as long as I can, and then as soon as I know where I want it to go, I don't think twice. I just put it down and just live with it. You know, that's the thing. You just need to live with it. So I decide I want to put Journey right to the right side of that 6x6 paper pad, and I'm going to do the journaling. I'm not going to do too much journaling, but right beside it on that notepad or that paper, ledger paper kind of thing. So I'm taking my bone folder and I'm just pressing it down and just lifting it a little bit at a time. Usually what I do is I put my rub-on down. Then I take my hand and I use the heat of my hand to get it to kind of smooth out on the paper. Then I take my rub-on tool and then I rub fairly, fiercely on the rub-on. And then I go back and then I go slow and then I lift little pieces ahead. And then if there's just a little piece missing, I put it down and then rub it and then lift. And then you move on like that. It really works well. And now I know I want to use those hearts, so I'm going to cut them sort of in half, but in all full hearts, if that makes any sense. I didn't want to cut them horizontally because I was going to lose parts of some of the hearts. And so I'm going to use them as part of the elements as what I'm using to tuck in behind, some of the clusters. It's funny because usually I take my time when I'm scrapping, and I don't know, I can't remember really if I was crunched on time. I think these last two layouts I had Mason for the weekend, so basically the only time I had to scrap was when he had a nap, because at nighttime when he went to bed, I used to get up and maybe watch an hour of TV. I'd come up and kind of organize a layout for the next day, but I just didn't have the energy to do anything, so I'd go to bed. But I think when he goes down for a nap, it's between an hour and a half and 2. So I was just like, okay, how many layouts can I get done? So in that one sitting, I probably got those 2 layouts done while he was sleeping, just so I would have layouts completed. So now I'm just taking the rest of the rub-ons, finding different areas that they are going to fit, and just having fun. And then at one point I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to use them all on this, because I don't know if I'm going to have another layout that's going to require gold. Because you know me and gold, right? If you've been following me for a bit, it's really hard for me to use. And I was having fun using gold on this layout. So just went all out and used it all. So I'm going to put the globe right there by adventure on the heart. And then there's also an ampersand, and I put that on the layout. There's a bike, and they bring their bikes when we go camping, and they're always biking. So I put that. I put a diamond, because that place is, it's a diamond. It's not, and I hate saying that in the rough, because it's not rough. It's just a gem. Let me put it that way. It's a gem. Okay, that place is a gem. The staff is super friendly. Everything about it we love. Now I took my Distress spray stain, and I'm just using sort of the nozzle, and I'm making some streaky lines around the circle just to kind of accent the circle a little bit more. Now I'm adding some chipboard stickers that I'm going to add to this layout. And then the next thing will be some enamel dots. But I'm going to try and fit in, a couple more things, because this is layout number 4, I said. And I know that I want to, I always liked getting more than 10. If I can get 10, I'm good. If I can get more than 10, I'm great. If I can get more than 15, then I'm super fantastic. So that's sort of, I don't want to make it so that my pages are just jam packed with, you just kind of throw up embellishments on your layouts just to have them there. But I do want to use, as many layouts as I possibly can, or not layouts. And if you're noticing, I'm kind of stumbling on my words and not finding the right words. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. It is now going on midnight. So I've been up for 20 hours. And that reminds me, I think it was, well, I know exactly which video it was. It was video 115. It happens to be my third most popular video. If you're new to my YouTube channel, you need to go check it out, okay? It's not riveting scrapbooking, and I'll tell you why. I had just worked a night shift. I wanted to do a voiceover, and I had already taken my sleeping pill. I had issues with the voiceover, it kept stopping, so it took me a little longer than it should have, and the sleeping pills started to kick in. So you see, I go little few minutes of time and I stop talking, and then my voice really slows down, and then there's periods of time that there's nothing, and then all of a sudden something happens, and I left it in there, and it's like one of my most popular video because I totally laughed at myself. So if you didn't have a chance to go see that, go see that. It's scrapbook process video 115, and it's in the popular videos. But anyway, so that's sort of almost at that level that I was tonight, because I've been up for almost 24 hours, and I thought, oh, I can take my sleeping pill and go do a couple of videos before I go to bed. So I'm starting to feel a little silly. So that's it. The page is done. Bye.